Hi, this is Eric, the Bariatric Carnivore. Well, look, I feel your pain. I mean, I found myself over the last couple of weeks giving up some things that I really liked. Now, I did not go off my diet or my plan by eating a bunch of donuts and eating ice cream and all this other stuff. No. I was doing it very subtly, and it snuck up on me. Yeah, I was doing a lot of pork rinds and cheese and cream in my coffee and butter and stuff like that, and it was adding up. And the way I knew it was adding up is springtime happened, and I'm starting to put on short sleeve shirts and realized, my gosh, they've all gotten tight in the middle. No. I've gotten bigger, particularly during the winter. And I initially thought, well, it's got to be that drug that that darn dastardly heart surgeon put me on. But no, frankly, I think it was the fact that I was grazing. And grazing, for people who've had bariatric surgery, is the thing that really kills you more than anything else. Because when you have bariatric surgery, you lose 70% of your stomach. And if you only eat, discrete meals, where you eat to satiety, and then you don't eat again until you're hungry, you're fine. But the problem is that, we'll eat a meal and then we'll have a little snack in between, that'll kind of fill us up again, and we kind of keep topping off the tank all the time, and those calories add up. And depending on what you eat, it'll actually cause your weight to go up pretty significantly. Now, when I think I stopped this in the nick of time, and we'll see how it works, toward the end of the month. But one of the things that I've taken the most flack for, and if you really want to get people upset, then attack the whole idea of the calories in, calories out model for losing weight. And I don't buy into it for a lot of reasons. One, because we're not closed systems, so I don't think the first law of thermodynamics applies. But, what we're talking about is adding in mass and putting in extra food. And extra food over time does count. Look, if you're trying to lose weight by strictly calorie counting, it won't work. It's a fool's errand. The calorie count on packages of food can be off by up to 20%. So trying to get exact calorie measurements are almost impossible. And if you think that you can somehow afford to eat that donut because you did so many calories on the treadmill today, that's what happens to us. And the problem is those calorie meters on the treadmills are really off. And frankly, your mileage may vary on any given day. So, I don't believe in counting calories over every day and trying to balance that out, but frankly, I do believe in looking at calories over the course of a week or a month, or long term. Look at your overall food volume. And what I noticed when I started looking at my overall food volume, I was buying a lot of pork rinds and a lot of cheese and cream and butter. And I was going through it pretty rapidly, and all that stuff adds up over time. And, it wasn't like I was eating ice cream, but this other stuff, when you do 4 cups of coffee a day and you're adding in heavy cream and butter, that's a lot of calories. That's a lot of extra food. And over time, that's going to add up. So I'm eliminating that stuff. I'm going back to black coffee. I quit buying cheese. I quit buying pork rinds because, frankly, I just can't have them in the house. So if you get hungry between meals, what do? I eat sardines. I figure if I'm actually hungry and I really am hungry enough to eat a can of sardines, then I was really hungry. So I can trust that hunger signal, and sardines are good for you. So I wasn't all that bad about it, upset about it. So, trying to figure out part of your job as an adult to be a leader of yourself is you got to do 4 things. You've got to be able to plan, prepare, act, and evaluate. What I mean by that is you need to sit down and figure out and plan, hey, look, this is what I need to do in order to be healthy. Then you have to prepare. And most of us means that we need to clear out the junk food out of our house, get rid of all the carbohydrate-rich stuff that we are tempted to eat during moments of weakness. Then hold ourselves accountable, act and eat responsibly as adults. But occasionally we need to evaluate, take a look at what's our overall caloric intake over time. Is there foods that we probably need to eliminate because they're triggering us, they're giving us a little endorphin rush that makes us feel good for the moment, but really isn't good for our long-term health, and maybe eliminate them. Maybe it's heavy cream, maybe it's cheese, maybe it's, I don't know, whatever is in your life that you're probably eating a little too much of. And every now and then you have to kick back and evaluate and look at the big picture. Do a little bit of forest management instead of just hugging trees. And take a look and see what might be making a difference in your life, what's keeping you from your goals. This is Kirk, the Bariatric Carnivore. I try to put out a couple messages each week. If you like this message, please hit like and subscribe. Join this channel of other like-minded folks. I will talk to you again soon.